Hi everybody, Stella here. I'm just going to do this little video that I promised from my last video on how to make these leaves and this 5-pointed flower. Okay, let's put them up there, out of the way. Now I've got some white and clear beads that I'm going to use for the leaf. And over here I've got some purple that I'm going to use for that flower. Let's put these over here where you can see them. There you go. Okay, now normally for the leaves I've used a 28 gauge wire, and this is all I've got left, so we're going to go with my 26 gauge, which, as you can probably see, is just a little bit thicker. You probably can't see too much on there, but you can see it when I lay it down flat. It's just a bit thicker. The higher the gauge number, the thinner the wire. Okay. I'm just going to go straight with the 26 gauge for the flower. Okay, we're going to take about, this is an A3 piece of paper, so I'm just going to take about that much. Cut it with your snips. Just fold it like that, and I like to just smooth the wire out each side like that. So I've got some antenna. Okay, let's go with, now we're not using these long beads because the wire is too thick for them. We put on 3 beads. I'm not sure what size these seed beads are. They're not tiny. So let's see, I think they might be about 4mm, maybe 3mm. This pack doesn't have the size on them, unfortunately. But you can get them at, I got these at Cheapest Chips. You can get them at Lincraft, Spotlight. Okay, in our middle. Now we're going to take one side, it can be your left or your right, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. Leave that bead floating, turn your wire and come back through 2 of the beads, like that. Move them so that you've got them. Pull tight. Okay, that's your first petal. Again, 3 beads. That's odd. Okay. leave your single bead floating and then pass your wire through the other two. No. Gee whiz, I only did this the other day. Okay, now we'll pass it through the first two. That's it, so you've got that. And you've got your third one floating, which is going to be your point. Get them right up close to the previous one and pull your wire. Now you've got two petals on. As each side gets shorter, just use the opposite side. So we'll go with this one, since we've put one on there. These beads are not all the same size, but don't worry about it. Flowers are not all the one size either. Okay, so there we are with our next petal. Bring it right up close to the previous petal and pull your wire real sharp. Now we've got 3 petals. We'll go back to the other side. Now look at the different size of those 3 beads. But it doesn't detract from the beauty of the flower. So back around and take the first 2. Oops. Let that one float. Now just to show you here, you can see there's a little bit too much wire between 3rd and 4th petal. So I'm just going to undo that. And then just give it another yank. The wire has a certain amount of give in it you can play with, but not too many twists and turns because it will break. Right, you want to pull that so that those 2 beads are really tight against the previous one, and then tighten your wire. There we go, that's better. Go to the other side, we need one more. I've chosen 5 petals for these flowers. 2, 3. Okay, all our previous petals are on this side because I'm right-handed, and I'm going through these 2. Leave that one floating. Hold these tight and then pull really tight. Okay, we've got our 5 petals now. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, hold your petals in your opposite hand. Now you're going to pass your wire through that petal and through the second one. So I want you to pass it through 2 petals on the whoops. So you're passing it through the 2 beads on the bottom of those 2 petals. Pass it through, pull, and pull to close it. It's coming. Okay, you've got the outside of your flower, all your petals done. Now bring one bit of wire forward and take the other wire and put it through. No, sorry, disregard that. We need a bigger bead for the center. So I think I probably need like a 7 or 8 millimeter bead for the center. Like that one is a bit larger than the ordinary 6 mil. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. Oops. Oh, very purple. Very, very purple. I like the big one, but I also like that one. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay. You've got this coming through there. Fold it over so your bead will sit in the center. There. Now I want you to take the wire and just thread it between those 3 beads of that petal. Can you see what I've done there? I've taken the wire through the center bead and then through into that petal there in between those 2 bottom beads. Then you just grab these your 2 wires, hold your flower, grab your wires, cross one underneath the other, and then holding very tight, twist it 2 or 3 times. Now just make sure that your flower is nice, and then we're just going to keep twisting. Then just cut off your excess wire. Now the reason I like to use, for these flowers, I like to use the thinner wire, the 28 or the 30, because if you want several in the bunch, you don't want a huge big thick trunk here down your wire. So if your wire is thinner, your stem will be thinner, and you can put, what have I got there? I've got 2 flowers. Then you can just arrange them and twist your wires together like we've just done. But I'll just do the 1 flower at the moment. And I think you can get the wires in silver as well. Okay, let's now go to making this leaf. I'm going to use this piece of 28 gauge, 28 or 30 gauge. Okay, and I'm going, the same size beads as I did for the flower, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 beads on. And like we did for that flower, we're going to go and go through 2 beads. Leave that one floating. Now put my wires up like ears, bunny's ears, and we've got that. Okay, now let's put 3 beads on. 1, 2, 3. You'll notice we did put 3 on the first one, but we took 1 down a step. So we've got 2, now we've got 3. So turn it over so that my right hand can take this wire and pass it through all 3 beads. So you've got that. Just square them up. And pull your wire. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't act nice. There you go. Now we're going to put on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 beads. Take your opposite wire over and through those 4 beads. There we go. Pull your wires tight. Then another 4 beads. This is the middle section of your leaf. 2. Pass your wire through again. So we've got 2 lots of 4 beads at the centre of our leaf. Now we're going to go back with 3. 1, Take our opposite wire and thread it through. And always start in the middle of your wire. And I'll show you why once we're finished. Got 3 there. Now we need 2. Oops. And the last one, we'll just do 1. And again, we'll take our wire, pass it through that one. Just pull your wires just to make sure they're really nice and tight. Grab them both with your opposite hand. Twist once. 3 times, just okay, it's all firm. Now you can completely twist the strand or the stem of the leaf. Now I haven't worked out a way to do another one off of this strand, like some of the flowers I do, so you really need to have, if you're going to put 2 or 3 leaves on the one stem, you really do need to have the smaller wire, like the 28 or 30 gauge, probably 30. So then we'll just snip off the bottom, and you'll notice now you can turn that to whatever shape you want it. Nice leaf. I can put it up on this flower. If I'm going to do that, hold their wires together. Now I like to do it a specific way. I like to put the second piece on the top so that I'm holding them, and then I can go bring the first strand, which is the flower, over, then bring the leaf strand over, and then twist it that way. Then we've got our pretty flower and our little leaf. There we go. Arrange that flower any old way you like. You can droop him down. Anyway. Okay, let's do some of these ones, and we'll do a couple on the strand. So we're going to go for a larger piece of wire, and again I'm using the 26 gauge because I don't have a 30 or 28 gauge. So I'm going to take, it's about 40 centimeters or so. Okay, end to end, and just create that little bend there. Then I like to just do that so they're away from each other. Okay, let's do some white beads. Off-white, those ones I like. Now because these are different sizes, there's no definitive number of petals to put on your flower. It's either 7, 8 or 9. So I'm just going to put How many have I got? That's 6. We'll try 7. And I like to just go like this. Just hold them like that, real tight. Get them into the shape. Now you can see that to get it into the round shape you've got to give it some slack. Now you can see I can use another bead in there. So I'll add another bead. And that should be enough. So on this one I've got 8 beads. Okay, grab 4 beads from the other end and pass your right hand wire through those 4 beads. Pull it tight. Oops. Oops, wrong one. Goes there. Okay, pull it tight and then pull one side down over your hole in the middle. Let's put these are 5 6mm beads. 5mm or 1/4 inch. Anyway, that just happens to be the beads that I'm using. You can use whatever you want. Okay, so pull that over. So you've got your bead in there. You've pulled that over. The bead sits in the center. Now your wires, bring your top wire down next to your bottom wire. Push the bottom wire down. Hold the flower and twist really tightly. Okay, I'm happy with that flower. Now I'm just going to twist it about, I've gone about 8 times. So I've still got some wire here that could use another flower. Okay, 4. Oops. 5, 6, I think 7. That's probably not going to be enough, so probably 8. There's a broken one. 8. Now we want to have a little stem here, so put our thumb there, turn your wire and thread it through 4 beads. 3, 4. Okay, when you pull it up, maneuver, so you've got a 1/2 inch stem that you're going to be making in there. So try not, if you pull it too tight, you'll end up with your flower right against that big stem. You don't want that, you want its own little stem. So it's just easy to just pull, pull, and pull. You'll always get that oval shape first. Bring the top wire over. Pop your bigger bead in. Now you've got your wires coming from the same spot. Grab them with your thumbnail and your forefinger and twist. couple of twists to make sure you're tight, and you can see I'm a little slack there, so I'm going to unwind that and pull it a bit more. Those first 2 or 3 should be real tight. I'm going to twist and twist until it meets that one. Make sure they're the same way around. If you don't want the wire showing, then you can have that as your right side. But I don't mind that wire, the wire showing. Okay, so you've got 2. Now grab these 3 wires on your left hand and make another few twists. 4 twists. Now we'll make it 3 because I want to go up that side. Okay, that's our second flower. That was our first one. So we'll do our third one below the second one on the other side. One, 2, 3, 4. 5. Now most of these are quite, I've got 7 there and one of them is really small. No, I still need that extra one, but a smallish one. Here we go. Again, you're going to want that little bit of stem there. So turn your wire like this, thread it through the first 4. Okay, now I've pulled it rather tight there, you can see it's right up against there. So I'm going to take that and pull it out a bit. Okay, pull the wire over from the middle. Over the flower and pair it up with the wire underneath. Okay, grab really tightly and give it a good couple of twists. I'm happy with that. Now twist it right up until the end of the previous twist. So we'll grab both. Twist, twist, twist. That 5 twists. Now grab all 3 flowers at the stems and twist, holding these 2 wires like that. Just twist your flowers. I don't like to leave too long a stem, it's not necessarily. And there we go. And if you make another bunch like this, you can twist them together. I've only got 3 on that one, yeah. And that's that. Okay, I hope you learned something and you can make some beautiful flowers from this lesson. Thank you very much for being with me today, and if you have any video suggestions on beaded flowers, please let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Okay, if I don't speak to any of you before Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas. And I'll see you next video. Bye bye for now. And thanks for staying with me.